Alright guys, welcome back to the Filthy 5150 RC channel. Check it out, got something new in the mail. This is to replace a couple of things that we have been breaking over the last couple months. I'll kind of chip down on it to keep the cost down for everybody, but in the long run it will be helpful, I guess, and a little bit more budget friendly on these guys. I totally forgot about them, to be honest with you, because we ordered them so long ago. And they were kind of done up pre-order and so on and so forth. But anyways, I'm not going to flip it over because my personal information is on the other side. So we're going to rip it open, hopefully from this side if we can, and see what we got inside. So I got my trusty hobby scissors. Actually, these are Lexan plastic scissors. And we're just going to start for one end and hopefully we just start it and split it from there. Got a bag of something here. We'll get everything out of the package first and then go right into what we got. This was kind of busted open on this side. When it was, I wasn't here when they dropped it off. I thought it was supposed to be a signed thing. At least that's what it said from the UPS notifications. Let's slide this back a little bit. I think I can get them out. By now, I think you guys have guessed what they are. RaceDayQuads. There should be 4. What I'm remembering. 2. 3. And 4. So, yep, you guessed it right if you were guessing at all. They are gates. We've been doing a lot more gates in our weekend setups for practice for racing. And right now we're up to an average of about 15 to 16 gates every weekend that we set up. So, quad diction gates take abuse. Our main 2 guys that fly with us all the time, from Skyline Innovations, bought a whole set of almost like pro gates. They look like the multi-GP. They're nice and thick material. We used those for like 4 months straight and destroyed those things. I mean, obliterated them. When you're going, 6 people at a time, and you just keep going and going and going, and everybody has like 20 to 30 packs, and you're running through 20 and 30 packs between 6 people. That's a lot of racing. A lot of fly time and a lot of hitting gates. So a lot of replacing and repairing gates. So we all try and chip in and do what we can. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out everything in one of these bags, and then I'll set up one of the gates so we can get a kind of backed off shot of the whole thing. So I'll be right back. Let me clean this up a little bit. We'll get into one bag. All right, so let's see. These should be the stakes. They almost always are. Let's see how they did this. One. And the thing doesn't want to come open. Doesn't want to come out. Doesn't want to reveal itself. It's camera shy. So, pretty good looking stakes. They don't look too bad. I like the fact that they're square, so they could take a little bit more abuse instead of just either one-sided or round. Round isn't bad either, but they're nice and light. They're not super heavy, and they come with the bungee string on them already. I'm assuming you just loop it into the pole before you put the pole into the corner piece, but we'll see. So you get 4 of those per bag. So if you're buying 1 gate, you're only going to get 4 of those, so there's no extra unless they're in here already. The bags are pretty nice. I like the fact that they are this form factor versus the quad diction. I have a Toyota Camry and a 2-door Civic. So the quad diction gates are really a pain in my ass to try and get in and out of a small car like that. So a setup like this actually works much better. So there's our tent poles. Those look pretty nice. I mean, it's pretty standard overall. They're the black, not like the white, like the Quadictions. I don't know if they'll hold up any better or worse. I guess time will tell. Let's see what else we got in here. So we can just slide it out here. Let's see. Oh, you know what this is. This is your material that goes on. And I like the fact that they're white. White is much, much easier to see out on the field. Let's see if they say, I'm pretty sure they say something. Yeah. So they have the RaceDayQuads logo on them. I think a couple of times there's maybe just on the top. Yep. So it's just on the top. So we'll set that aside. What else do we get in here? Here's our straps to go from one corner to another. So it holds them parallel like this so they don't spread out. And then I filled some other stuff in here. We're missing the corner pieces. Oh, the corners are aluminum. Now that is an idea. So the pieces for the corners, instead of the Quadiction being the square, or I mean the triangle shaped plastic with the screw ins, it looks like these have little dimples in them to pinch the pole. So you slide it in and it'll kind of hold the pole there, but they're aluminum. I like that because the Quadiction corners at the end where you screw it in after you get the pole onto them, they tend to break. So you tend to have to buy a lot of parts for that particular corner. These might work out really, really well. Time will tell once again. And it feels like there's more actual stakes in here. I don't know why there would be more. It feels like these are aluminum stakes. Aluminum. They sure are. Aluminum stakes. So you get 4 plastic and 4 aluminum stakes. So I guess it's kind of like pick your poison kind of deal. Personally, I like the plastic ones they have over there because of the way that let me grab one. See the way that it's looped through, it's already got a pre-punched hole there, right there. And if for whatever reason your pre-punched hole is broken, there's also a tab out here. So there's 2 ways to actually rig this down and attach it to the flag itself. So, I mean, 2 options. Good idea, Quadiction. Some people like these stakes more than they like plastic, but I think I'm going to stick with the plastic for now. The silver ones are too easy to lose out in the field. Not to say that these aren't, but I could spray paint these like some obnoxious color like yellow or red and find them really easy. If I couldn't really spray paint these that well and the paint stick on them. So I like the fact that they gave you actually 2 options. Well, let's get one together and see where we are at and how it stands. And I'll be right back. Okay, we got this gate together. Sorry about the movement on the camera. Let me back up a little bit so you can kind of get a perspective on how wide this thing is. So we got it all together and it went together pretty well. This gate does fold down like the Quadiction, but it's a bit bigger in dimension than what I was expecting. So what I'm measuring out, if the feet are perfectly parallel, is 8 feet across from foot to foot, left to right, and should be about 5 to 5.5 feet tall when it's all strapped together. Now that's a pretty big gate, pretty wide. I don't think we're going to have any issues with hitting the sides of the gate. We'll have more issues with hitting the very top of the gate, which is right there. Boom, boom, boom. I think that's where most people are going to end up hitting this gate, which kind of worries me because it's a little flimsy, or it's a little on the flimsy side. But only time will tell how well those tent stakes, or tent poles, excuse me, are going to hold up. Like I was saying in the unboxing, there are 4 stakes. And I believe I'm correct in saying that there's no extras other than the aluminum ones. But I prefer to use the plastic ones. So 2 go on each foot, or left and right of the bracket, the L bracket, if you want to be technical, that hold the top row on of the gate and the bottom row, and then 2 stake on the bottom row to hold it down so it doesn't, go forward or backward. So that's 4 stakes in total, which leaves you only 4 aluminum stakes or 4 plastic stakes, whichever you decide to go with. Like I said, I'm probably going to use the plastic ones. But one positive that I see about this gate is how small the fabric is. Thin, I should say. So it's not as wide here as the Quadiction. It's just a little bit more narrow, which I think at the width of this gate is going to be more beneficial, because it's not going to catch the quad as much, because the gate is wide. So it gives you a nice wide opening for hooking turns or anything like that. And it's white. White shows up really, really well unless you're kind of flying semi-ish into the sun, or the sun is behind the track or what have you, in which case it'll just wash out any gate anyway. But some pros and some cons about this guy. The breakdown is going to take a little bit longer than the Quadictions. But like I said, you can fold it like a Quadiction, but it's going to be huge because it's an 8x5 configuration, which is bigger than Quadiction. And that's a big problem for me because I have small cars. So it's kind of a pain in the ass even just to get the Quadictions around. But I also found out that if I take the elbows out, I can just fold the tents with the fabric still, or tent poles with the fabric still on them on both sides, and just slide it right into the bag, which means that it now travels in that bag, which is only like a foot and some change long. And now I can fit tons of them in my car with no problem, without taking really any space up. And they're a lot more portable. So pros and cons. Oh, one more con. It's not really to the gate itself. It's more from the manufacturer. I'm going to walk you guys over here so you can see this. Had a little QC issue. Now this was there. I laid out the whole fabric on my table before I put the poles in, and I found that already. I already took a picture of it, and I'm going to send an email off to RaceDayQuads and see what they say. If I move here, you can kind of see how it goes together. So there's the strap. Not a huge fan of the strap because there's no way other than a 10 stake to keep them, parallel or pushing forward. But other than that, I mean, it's a big ass gate. Right there and there is where you put your stakes to hold down the backside, like I was saying. Set you guys back down so you can not get sick about me moving around. But I think in the long run, these are going to last as long as the Quadictions. I think they're going to be just as good as the Quadictions. Like I said, I was really surprised to see the elbows being aluminum, which I think is going to take a lot more abuse for those hard turns that people like to hook around and just smack the ever-living crap out of those. The one thing that I see with the Quadiction is a lot of parts to replace. I got three friends now that have had brand new Quadiction gates from the start, and they bought replacement pieces already. The screw that goes into the elbow. Some of them have replaced the whole elbow already. Others have reported their tent poles were snapping in storage. That's never a good thing. I don't know if it's just the tent pole material that they're using, if it's a fiberglass or what kind of fiberglass it is. But I know these are fiberglass too in here. They don't look to be the highest quality in tent pole, to be honest. But only time will tell. We'll see. I'm not going to store them like a Quadiction. I'm going to store them like a regular tent pole. I'm going to fold them up with the material on them, and that's how they'll stay in the bag that they came with. So I don't think they're going to snap like the Quadictions, unless someone hits them really, really hard, in which case that's what they're meant for. So I think in the long run, they're going to last just as long as a Quadiction. And yeah, we won't really know until we run them. So we'll run them this weekend and see what they turn out. And if you guys want to see that, let me know down in the comments below. I'll do another video on how they survive the weekend. This weekend, I think we have 6 people out running. We're getting ready for a race at the beginning of March. So there'll be a lot of flying going on this weekend. So, all right, guys. Well, hopefully this helps you guys out trying to pick a gate. Like I said, these are 20 bucks a piece, and you can get 3 of these for the cost of 4 Quadictions, roughly. I don't really know if there's a benefit left or right. I think they both have their pros and their cons. Like I said, this gate is a little bit bigger. It's an 8x5 than the Quadiction, which I believe is a 5x5. I could be wrong. 6x5, 5x5, something like that. But I mean, let me know down below if you guys want to see this gate after a full weekend of running and what kind of abuse it's taken. Other than that, comment down below if you want to see anything else. Flight footage, I've been trying to post as much flight footage as I can get, as long as I remember my SD card. If you guys need help with anything, please just let me know down below. If you guys want me to shoot a video, like a help video on how to build something or how to troubleshoot some stuff, I will do my best to get that out or refer you to a video that I know of that can help you. So, all right, guys, get out there and fly.